Gentlemen, we are live. Welcome to the after show, kind of bringing this idea back where you get to hang out with Dennis and I. And today we have special guest Sneed from the SMT. We have his channel linked in the video description. He's putting out amazing content on wireless. I like to think Sneed's channel is probably the most up-to-date channel when it comes to telecom news, wireless news, and everything you need to know. So Sneed, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Stetson. Appreciate it. Thanks for the invite, buddy.
Absolutely. Great to have you here. Dennis, I feel like you're chomping at the bit to say something, so why don't you take yourself off mute and full send. Dennis, what we got?
Yeah, so we're just coming off of an incredible interview that we had with Ahmed Katak of US Mobile, which, if you guys don't know, Stetson and I very much like what US Mobile's doing. In fact, when we were doing a stream, I think it was 2 weeks ago, we probably said US Mobile throughout that video as a recommendation like 50 times. And one of the things that was, well, there was a few bombs that were dropped. First off, Steed, US Mobile confirmed as an early release that they're going to be coming out with 2 new unlimited data plans. And specifically, one of them is going to be a more premium unlimited plan that's going to include 50 gigabytes of hotspot. And he didn't get specific, but he said significantly more priority data for on-device. So right now they're at 75 gigs, and he's saying it's going to be significantly more data than that.
So maybe 100 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, I would guess 100 to 150.
Yeah. But he also says he's going to come out with a more affordable unlimited plan that's going to come in at like $20. It's going to be like unlimited, like US Mobile Essentials or something.
Yeah, this reminds me a lot of the Google Fi plan, right? Where it's a family discount and you got it to $20 a line. And that was only 35 gigs, though. I almost see them splitting it up, right? Where you have a 35 gig unlimited all plan, and maybe you're right, Steve. Maybe it is 100 gigs, 100 gig unlimited all plan for those more premium users. I'm curious, Sneed, what's your take on that, kind of splitting up the unlimited options? They have one plan right now going in 2 different directions there.
You know, the having one unlimited plan is kind of rough because the unlimited plans we have here in the US are not, it's not unlimited hotspot at full speed. It's not unlimited with full undeprioed, full priority. Like, it's not that kind of unlimited. So because you don't have that, then you should offer different types of unlimited with certain things that offer like enhancements compared to the other ones. So like if you're a person who would utilize 50 gigs of hotspot, have an unlimited plan with 50 gigs of high-speed hotspot, and you can kind of tailor them. You build a portfolio of plans, you line them up, you put them nice and organized on a website. You say which one of these unlimited plans is more suited for your use case. And, but sometimes it can like shoot you in the foot. You give people too many options. It starts looking kind of cluttered. Maybe they don't know what to pick. They're on the fence. We've seen the MNOs simplify their unlimited plans, right? So like they had more, then they moved to like 3 or 2 of them, like in the case of T-Mobile. And then they went back to 3 with Essentials. And so like 3 seems to be like the magic.
That seems to be the sweet spot. I think
Yeah.
Verizon's kind of doing it a little weird, but you kind of get it where they're pitching your Play More as more of your streaming service centered plan, and your Do More as more of your hotspot, get work done kind of plan. So, yeah, I think, Dennis, that was unlimited plans.
Well, wait, there's more.
There's more. What else we got?
He also mentioned they were going to do like a similar thing to Party Pay.
Oh, yeah. That was like right at the end there. Right?
Yeah. So Sneed, did you? Well, you told me already, but yeah, US Mobile is considering basically doing a Party Pay now as well. And the reason why that's really exciting is because Stetson, free streaming perks. How's that going to work? We should have asked him.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think the account owner would probably get it, or maybe that plan becomes ineligible for the streaming perks, right? You sacrifice the streaming perks for.
That could be like a no-nonsense thing, right? Stetson, like, you don't need extras. You just want cheap service. Here it is.
Yeah.
All right, but here's something that's more exciting, and I know this is going to get you excited, Sneed. And that's the fact that Ahmed said he's been heavily considering doing fixed wireless.
Seriously?
Here's why I'm actually not excited for this. Because there's been exactly one MVNO, true MVNO, not a flanker brand, that's come out with fixed wireless plans. Okay. and this was Ultra Mobile. All right. And do you guys remember those plans?
I do. They were horribly priced, but hold the phone. Santiago coming in hot yet again with a super sticker of a hippo just burning wheel, like a chair wheel on fire with the $10 super sticker. Thank you for that, my friend. And also thank you for supporting earlier. I'm sorry we didn't necessarily touch on it. We were so engrossed, but thank you for the support as always, my friend. But yeah, so Ultra Mobile, they came out and their plans for their fixed wireless were absolutely horrendous. They were doing basically like satellite pricing back in the day with HughesNet, where it was like 100 gigs for like $150 or something crazy. However, I'm excited for US Mobile because Verizon seems to be a lot friendlier when it comes to their data pricing. And I think that it would be incredible if there was a prepaid option for fixed wireless, because Verizon's fixed wireless solution right now is postpaid only. So is their home internet. There is no prepaid for anything Verizon related. So, you got it.
So, yeah. So, this is why I'm not excited. And I would just imagine something similar, right? $55 for 25 gigs. You know how much T-Mobile home internet is?
50 bucks. Yeah, 50 bucks.
$50 flat. How much data does that plan have?
25 gigs.
Unlimited.
Oh,
exactly.
Sorry, unlimited.
Yeah. So for $5 more, what? Like, why? Right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. None of these plans are even legitimate options.
I mean, I wouldn't call that like legit broadband. I mean, you can't even give people a half a terabyte. You know, like the average household is what, 300 to 500?
500 gigs now.
500 gigs. I mean, if you can't get there, it's not really a broadband option. Home broadband. You know,
I think US Mobile really wants to do it. I think it's something they're excited about. I think they could build the interface to do it well. My concern is pricing. And I think the best pricing we've seen so far from US Mobile is their shared data bucket plan. Like on a previous show, I was talking about, hey, we'll just have all the devices on a pooled plan. And your home internet will pull from that. Your phone will pull from that. Your tablet will pull from that. I don't think they will have the pricing model available to directly compete with Verizon or some of the other options.
I don't think they need to directly compete with Verizon on pricing, though. I mean, like, the whole point of what makes it exciting is that it doesn't require a credit check. You don't have to pass credit to get it. No deposits, no nonsense, right? If they could come in at like a solid, say, $75 and maybe like $55 if you bundle it with like a cell phone or something, I think that's plenty fair and plenty competitive, because as it stands today, the only broadband option that I'm cognizantly aware of that offers a prepaid service is your cable telco. So that would be your Comcast, your Cox. Okay, I guess I forgot about Metro. I'm sorry, I forgot about them. But that would be your Comcast, your Cox, and then Metro by T-Mobile. Those are it. Those are your only prepaid options. And Comcast offering is 50 by 10 for $45 per month, and you have to buy the gateway up front. It comes with a month of service for $80 when you start. I think Cox is the same, and Metro is how much? What, 50?
Yeah, 50. It's T-Mobile home internet.
They typically come in at $50.
Yeah.
So
but I'm just saying, there's not a lot of prepaid options for home internet. So having another, and on Verizon's network, which I would argue is doing a better job in the fixed wireless space, is exciting.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. Prepaid fixed wireless. And I guess the only exception is if US Mobile gets access to a dedicated product. Like, they are legitimately able to match Verizon, and or like it's the same plan, and if they have to compromise on price $10, $20 more, I think that's more reasonable to me, like as opposed to doing what Ultra is doing, where they unfortunately have to pay per gig.
Side note, but Stetson, drop everything, because now AT&T has all the texting and you could want. Thank you, Snark Mark, for the $5 super chat.
I did. This is Sneed, I'm sure you covered it. Do you have the details on this?
The AT&T texting in Peru. Yeah, so essentially what AT&T did was they put in I guess an added feature that's included into the Elite plan, and they're going to give you essentially the ability to take your phone to like 90% of the Latin American countries, including some Caribbean nations, Central America, South America, I mean, you're just gonna take your phone with you and use it as it is.
Well,
No change to your experience. So you're taking your phone with you, no other SIMs needed, and you get calling, you got texting, and you got unlimited data. Your hotspot's the same, like the whole shebang, the whole priority piece. You are going to any of those listed nations on that webpage, and your phone, it's like you're in Ohio, it's like you're in PA, it's like you're in Colorado. It's your phone wherever you are. You're using it the same.
The good old trip to tropical Ohio.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's like
so
32
cold right
degrees.
now. You
Yeah,
guys have
it's 32. Dude, no, seriously, we had 80-degree weather over the weekend, and it just
Right.
dropped to 32.
Dude, it is iceberg right now. Like I'm in a hoodie because it's freaking cold, man.
Yeah, I got the best phone plans hoodie
It
on
ain't-
now too.
It ain't Peru, I'll tell you that much. I'd be texting Peru right now.
Yeah, but so this was definitely exciting, and honestly, this was revolutionary, like we talked about. But I want to bring up US Mobile again. US Mobile also dropped some bombshells when it came to roaming and international roaming. So there was 3 things that they dropped, Sneed. One is that international calling is being discussed about being included in all plans, just off the rip.
Mm-hmm.
Or not all plans. I think it was all limited plans was the caveat. But
yeah, it's the unlimited. They're pushing their unlimited. I think it's because it's the most expensive plan. Customers seem to like it. I think they're making more money off of it.
yeah, but that was number 1. Number 2 was that they're talking about getting like, international roaming proper in much of Western Europe and Canada and Mexico, just like you would be in the States, which is huge. And then the third thing that was talked about, and it was confirmed, is that US Mobile actually does have domestic roaming here in the States. I don't know if that was a confirmed thing until now. But
Yeah. I saw some Reddit posts on it. I think it's been confirmed, and then now it's really confirmed.
Well, I wasn't sure, and that's pretty huge considering that Visible does not get domestic roaming. And, I think a lot of Verizon's coverage, despite what people think, actually does rely on roaming. So that's good.
So, yeah, it's good. What else we got? Free trial launching pretty soon. I'm excited about this. I think I'm most excited. I think a big hold up or hesitation for people to switch to an MVNO is, they're unsure, they're unfamiliar what it's going to be. I think a free trial can really ease that process, ease that experience. So I'm really excited for that. Retail presence, I think, will be cool. New app, Autopilot AI. I love this. I think it's looks at your usage and then recommends a cell phone plan that meets your needs. I think this is such a strong point for MVNOs because all the big carriers, Verizon, your AT&T, T-Mobile, they just want you on unlimited. They want you on Magenta, Unlimited Elite, Verizon 5G, Get More, because they get more money off of you. And here you have something that could really tailor the service to the user, where you give the user something that actually meets their needs and is quite affordable.
Hey, but Stetson,
yeah.
do you want to know what the thing was that surprised me the most from that whole interview today?
What surprised you the most, Dennis?
Sneed, I'm going to give you guess. I'm going to give you a guess. It's something that's
Sneed
been
hasn't even seen it.
He doesn't
How is
need
he
to.
gonna
He
guess?
doesn't need to. He's been talking to me a lot. What's the biggest pain point that all customers in telecom have been facing over the past few months?
In relation to what, like home ISP or wireless?
Just all of telecom does it horribly. I always say it. But it's all
security,
telecom.
man. Security.
Yes. Would you ever expected that US Mobile would be the industry telecom leader in security?
I mean, they innovate in a lot of different ways. I'd say I'm surprised, but the guy's just different. He just moves different.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if T-Mobile was the leader.
No, but he actually astonished me. He talked about his zero trust policy when it comes to his employees. He talked about his 2FA, how they're improving their 2FA, talking about biometric authentication. They're doing a lot of cool stuff, and I never would have expected that ever from a prepaid carrier, let alone an MVNO. And honestly, I was really impressed. I feel like people underestimate how excited I was to hear how important, because here's the thing. When you put your main number on a carrier, your number is your digital identity. It's how you verify yourself to basically the whole wide web, unfortunately, whether it be your banks, your social media, whatever. So making sure that your number is safe from being ported out so that scammers can't nefariously get into your account is the most mission critical thing, especially if you got a Coinbase account And the reason why I specifically target crypto here is because if you look at like the T-Mobile subreddit and you look at the people that report their SIM cards being poured out, a lot of times it's people that had Coinbase accounts. They got targeted for their Bitcoin and other holdings and assets that they have. So,
it was pretty good. It was good show. If you haven't seen it, recommend you check it out. I want to jump back to AT&T because I have some news, Dennis. In the previous show, maybe Sneed, have you talked about or heard about AT&T increasing prices on some of their plans?
Yeah,
I have confirmation on this. They are increasing pricing.
Yeah.
It's for the old plans though. Dennis, we were wrong about this. We were trying to what are they going to increase? It's for the old legacy plans. So these are going to be your consumer and business mobile share plans, going up between $6 and $12 a line. And some of the older retired unlimited plans, again, going up $6 for single line, $12 for multi-line. So, yikes. But at the same time, I have mixed feelings. On the one hand, it's a bummer. These poor people should not be paying any more for an already overpriced data bucket plan. On the other hand, they probably should have switched plans a long time ago, and hopefully this is a good wake-up call to make that happen.
I think this was intentional. I think it was intentional what they did to the old plans.
It was not an accident. Oh, oops! Accidentally raised prices.
No, I'm saying that.
Check the wrong box.
I'm saying that AT&T. I'm saying that AT&T wins either way. By that I mean the old plans were already more expensive. So if people decide they want to stick on it, they make more money. Alternatively, this gets people eager enough to actually switch over to newer plans so they can eliminate those rate codes and everything else and simplify their absolutely horrendous biller. So I think it's a win-win for them either way. Sneed, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think this is just phase one. If I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat and start, speculating on what's going to happen in the future, I legit feel like this is just a primer. The CEO, John Stankey, literally came into an investor conference. One of his first handful of comments was in regards to inflation and well, first of all, it starts, we have to increase profitability. We're going to lay people off. We're going to improve our bottom line, make more money. Then he goes on to say things like, I hate that I have to pay more in wages. Like the whole world is dealing with supply issues. Your dollar is stretching less, and now you're telling people they shouldn't be making as much money. So and then what does he do? He gives himself a raise. So all this is going on. They just put all these pieces together. Then he starts talking about rate hikes, how he's going to increase plans. And he does it very vaguely, and he says things like, we'll be looking at it in the future, further in the year. Well, this happened in a week. So that means this was in the works, whatever just happened, for several months. And that means more hikes are probably coming. In fact, I will bet my ridiculously modest teacher salary, there are more plan hikes coming for the near term, like next quarter after that. Like Q3, I think it's a foregone conclusion they try to do something. And if they do it, then Verizon does it. T-Mobile committed to not do it. So that's like the only place you can hide if you're trying to keep your rate.
I don't trust T-Mobile.
Do you think it protects some of the legacy plans? Like T-Mobile promised they wouldn't raise their prices, and I feel like they could almost argue like they're not raising their prices, right? Their current plans today haven't changed, and they won't change. But could they raise prices for legacy Sprint customers or for weird legacy T-Mobile plans? Dennis, you think yes?
Oh, 100%. It's already happening. I think that T-Mobile is really great about speaking lawyer jargon where they say, yeah, we're not raising our prices. Look, our Magenta Max is still $85, but don't pay attention to the fact you're paying taxes now on all your add-ons. Don't pay attention to the fact that we raised our SIM activation fees on prepaid. Don't pay attention to the fact that we eliminated a bunch of legacy Sprint plans like the $10 Kickstarting. You're screwed. Yeah, but we're keeping our prices the same. Don't you worry. Meanwhile, if AT&T and Verizon...
Dennis trying to whisper into a microphone? That was pretty slick.
Meanwhile, AT&T and Verizon are probably both going to raise prices, and the minute that happens, they're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, we underestimated. How are we ever going to afford to pay our poor employees? We must raise prices." And then Magenta Max will match whatever AT&T's elite is at the time.
Right.
Interesting.
Which
Yeah.
I want to focus on this real quick though. Talking about price raising. I'm sorry, Stetson. I love talking to Sneed. Talking about price raising. Where do you think like the end target will be for AT&T? Like, where do you think elite goes up to? Like 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4?
On a per line basis.
Yeah, like, do you think it goes up to
Yeah.
$95, $100, like for 1 line? Like, what do you think?
I think they want to kind of come in a little modest. I don't think you want to increase too much. It'll create shock. And for sure, raising it too much probably could create some churn opportunity. AT&T's industry leading churn right now, better than Verizon, far ahead of T-Mobile. I don't know if they want to disrupt that. I mean, the momentum is good. They pulled off their media spinoff. I feel like there's a lot of good things that they can hang their hat on. I don't think you want to get too greedy. I mean, raising when the industry is not really calling for it, that's pretty greedy enough, So like, maybe come in 5%, 6% tops. So do you change? Maybe you add a fee to the bill and you give it a name,
Sneak, whoa,
so
they
that way
got
it
enough
doesn't.
of those. Don't give them ideas, my
Well,
guy.
what I'm saying is, if you change the plan rate, then you've essentially violated the terms of the service. So it like has to be something like that.
So the
You know,
cable approach.
look, the first thing that happens when they start talking about these things, they contact lawyers. What's the best way for us to pull this off so we don't get, lawsuits handed
legally,
to us,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see them raising any of their current plans. I think it would make more sense to me for them to introduce a new plan at a higher price. I think it just would upset customers like way too much to do something like that. And yeah, I don't really feel like there's a need. I mean, if Stanky's giving himself a bonus, they're doing all right, So
Well, I would agree with you, but now I don't. I think AT&T is going to do both. They're going to add a fee. It's going to be called Stanky's bonus fee, and then they're going to raise, and then they're going to come out with like a new tier of plans where the base rate's actually like say it'll be $95, but with a special promotional discount that's always there kind of deal. It'll be like 90 or 85 or something.
So
And
they're
that's
going to make an additional $5 to $6.
Yeah, but I do see them adding another fee like you were talking about, like the cable approach, where cable's base price has been like $99 for a triple play for I don't even know how many years, but that
What you really
broadcast
have to do, Dennis? It doesn't even have to be per line.
Hmm.
They could literally slap $10 onto every bill, and they
There
would
you
be
go.
satisfied because that would improve their ARPA, which is like the new buzzword, right?
By
From
$10.
ARPU, right? Add the $10. If their ARPA is like, I don't even know what it is anymore, but I know their ARPU is like $49 or something. I don't know, whatever. It used to be industry leading, and then sometimes it's Verizon. They go back and forth. It depends on the acquisition cost of customers as they get them to switch. They got to buy out their phones and give them a free iPhone and all that. It's like they calculate all that. Just slap $10 onto the bill, whether a person has a $300
Oops,
bill.
how did that get there?
Yeah, or a $500 bill, you just slap $10 on there, and you're like, "Hey, we just bumped up the ARPA across the industry. We're at $53 this quarter. Look what we did."
Do you think we'll see them monetize 5G like Verizon did, where it's like a $10 add-on on like say their starter?
Dude, Start already has 5G. Like they can't monetize it anymore.
No.
The Start Unlimited does not have ultra wideband?
Right. So I'm
This
saying,
is Verizon though.
Yeah.
right. So I'm saying, do you think AT&T might do something similar, where like whatever I can't remember what AT&T start.
Well, they would be
is.
back. They would be backtracking because they started out like Verizon, and then they backtracked and said, "All right, 5G is included in all plans, including prepaid." So then they'd be going back to what they. I don't. That would be messy.
It already has 5G.
Yeah.
Unlimited Start already has 5G. It's already there. No, where'd it go?
Yeah, all plans, whether it's prepaid, it's Cricket, it doesn't matter. It's all there with all their plans across the entire industry access for AT&T.
I'm not even seeing the logo, but I feel like I just saw it.
It's all good. I trust you, Stetson. You
I
know
don't
these
think
like the
they're
back of your
advertising. It's
hand.
just included, so they don't even talk about it.
Yeah,
Anyway, but yeah, all right. My question for you, Sneed, someone I feel like you have a pulse on the fixed wireless industry. When do you see AT&T coming out with an updated fixed wireless product?
that's another thing that they're gonna have to make. You know, they don't have a national gateway. They don't have national pricing. Their fixed wireless has always been this extremely situational thing as a solution that, you know, wherever they don't have connectivity, but they have access to infrastructure and they can put up some gear, you know, like they probably have some kind of like external antenna solution. It's probably way out in the middle of Biloxi, whatever, you know, the boonies or whatever. And unless they have a solution where they're getting like Nokia or Asus or Netgear, they have a good relationship with Netgear, right? They would need a gateway that could scale somewhat national, have a baseline price, and then you can get behind that, you know. But that's what T-Mobile's doing, and that's what Verizon's doing. And that's really the only way to do it. You got to warehouse these parts, you got to warehouse these gateways, and plan and pricing. It all has to be the same. That's the reason why Verizon and T-Mobile are gonna find success. Like they're doing exactly what cable doesn't do, right? So like explosive pricing, cable, they shoot up your price after a year. T-Mobile and Verizon are like, nah, you know, $50. In fact, here's a promotion. Pay 25 on Verizon if you have our wireless. You know, pay half. You know, so like they're sweetening the pot and the pricing is fair, whether there's a promotion or there isn't. You know, AT&T has to do stuff like that, and they're so focused on fiber. I wouldn't hold my breath for any of that. And when Stanky speaks about 5G and capacity, he says we don't really want to do that. You know, we want to leave the mobile capacity for mobile usage. And in a way, that's actually good because they want to have a premium wireless subscriber experience. And then they have their fiber home experience. They want them separate. You know, they're building fiber and they multi-purpose the fiber, enterprise, commercial, networking, and fiber to home. They don't want mobile traffic and fixed wireless traffic sharing the same experience. It's first of all, it is hard to do. Dennis's concerns about fixed wireless access, 100% valid. These carriers are going to have to finesse it. AT&T is like, we don't want to get into the nuance of all this. We're doing fiber, we're doing wireless, two separate businesses. We're going to be good at both.
I don't even think their biller could handle the kind of discounts Verizon's
You know how many?
doing.
Do you know how many subsystems they have in their whole?
The answer is too many.
You're talking
it's
about
already
AT&T?
a problem. Oh yeah, it's a mess. It's jank.
They probably
I
have
hear
some
what you're
legacy
saying,
stuff from
Sneed.
like the Singular days. Who knows?
It makes a lot of logical sense. I think they need to compete, and so maybe they'll offer a product and they'll geo lock it. It'll be very regional, very specific. My gut is I think they need the Andromeda hardware to come out because they're doing the C-band with the Andromeda. So they need those antennas to be released, which I think is going to be midsummer. They need time to build it. And I think they might want to do something similar to what Verizon did, where they build it summer to fall, light it up for the winter, and can make kind of a big splash when you cover this many cities all at once. That's what I think. I think they will come out with a product, but yeah, I think it'll take a while. And then I wanted to touch on one more thing, Dennis, before we get to your topic, and it's going to be this guy. We actually have a new Netgear Nighthawk. I think, Sneed, you had mentioned the strong partnership between Netgear and AT&T. This is the M6 Pro, right? Looking at millimeter wave support, so you're getting that 5G plus up to 3.6 gigabits per second with Wi-Fi 6E, 32 devices. And Dennis, you'll like this. It's actually got a 2.5 gig NIC.
I see that.
Yeah, in the device. So this is a primo thing.
I'm gonna guess that. I was gonna guess $500, but you already beat me to it.
$460, pretty good. I'm sure this is an AT&T exclusive right now, and it'll be 3 to 6 months before we get an unlocked version directly from Netgear.
And it will not be $599.
Yeah,
or $499, whatever. It's going to be $800.
It'll be $800. You're absolutely correct. And here are the bands that you're getting in this
Oh,
particular.
nice. It
thing
has
is a
C-band.
beast.
Nice.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
has
yeah.
C-band. It has millimeter wave.
Oh, it's got CBRS, man. This thing, we're taking this thing to Verizon, bro.
Yeah. Boom.
Dude,
Right?
this thing is actually a legitimate beast. And if that was the type of gear that was being pushed out for fixed wireless by T-Mobile, it would be a lot better.
It's
I would love
possible.
to see T-Mobile have something like this.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, man.
I
Get
think-
away from the whole gateway with the firmware, all that nonsense, man.
The shenanigans. Yeah, I wanted to get the Netgear Nighthawk M5 last year, and we had on the fine folks from RV Mobile Internet Resource Center. And I think it was the lack of C-band and I want to say millimeter wave that really was the holdoff. Like,
Had
you're
the
gonna need
C-band.
a new one. It had
It
the
had-
C-band.
Yeah, and it didn't have millimeter wave.
Yeah, I think then millimeter wave. Then like you want to get if you're getting a hotspot device, if you're in an area like that, you want to be able to take full advantage of those.
The whole thing, yeah.
capabilities.
Yeah.
And
Too
I
bad
would,
hotspot plans just don't keep up. There's not
Yeah.
an unlimited hotspot plan to date.
yeah, I almost wish like you could apply for it. You could say, hey, I'm an RVer. Can I like check a box and get special access to this, or can I get unlimited for 3 months? Like put some of the time duration. Like, hey, I'm doing a 3-month road trip.
Dude, just make it $100, make it unlimited, and just give it unlimited deep route access.
Yeah, that's kind of fair. I mean, Visible can basically do that.
Like,
So.
that'd be more than fair. But look, I want to change gears. So on your show, Sneed, we did a lot of talk over the weeks from the earnings calls from AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. But there is one company we haven't done an earnings report from, and they just came out with information. And that is Comcast. You're going to have to sign in with your Google account to actually see this, Stetson.
Okay, let me do that.
But that is Comcast. They came out with their earnings report. And Sneed, I know I like showed you behind the scenes, but I don't know how good your memory is. How well do you think Comcast did overall based off their earnings?
I bet you the revenues were great year over year, quarter to quarter. The revenues are good. I bet you they killed wireless subscriber gains. I think between them and Charter, Charter Comcast, you're a shoo-in for 500 million subs added, in terms of the two of them. So they're like probably 250, 350, somewhere in there. They're probably going to start seeing a slight decline in growth. I'm not saying they're going to lose customers. I'm saying that their net adds are going to happen at a slower pace because T-Mobile is taking Soga and Verizon is taking Soga. Verizon took 200,000 subscribers for fixed wireless. T-Mobile took 340,000. You can't just lose 550,000 subscribers from the market and not feel it. So, yeah, their growth is now being hampered by fixed wireless access. And I'm happy to I'm happy to see that.
Good. It's about time.
Yeah.
So there's a lot in this article because Comcast is like a massive
Their theme
octopus.
parks. I bet you those are catching traction now. People want to go to the theme parks, and I bet you studios are killing it too.
Yes, there was a huge uplift. In fact, the streaming service Peacock that everybody was downplaying.
Oh, they
added
love
like
Peacock.
Dude,
People
they
love
added
Peacock.
so many paid customers. But
Yeah.
let's start from the top with their cable business first, the Xfinity brand. Okay. So one thing that's worth mentioning is that they have approximately expanded to 61 million homes and businesses in the U.S. And out of that 61 million homes that they pass, they have approximately 34 million customers. So they have a 57% penetration rate, which is high.
It's good.
Yeah. And we were able to find out what their average internet bill is. 29 million customers who have their internet service are paying $65 a month. That's just for that internet line of business, which is pretty freaking high when you remember it's like 97% profit, so free money.
Jeez.
Video was on the decline. They lost another 4 million cable TV customers.
Yeah, the cord cutting goes on, man.
But their MVNO is performing very well here. They added
Whoa.
the Raw has been very successful. They operate 4 million lines. Oh, and they're generating $50 per month per line, essentially, with the average customer having basically 2 lines on an account. So they got $50 per line. What's AT&T typically for their per line basis?
Their BYOD is like $50-$60.
So Comcast is basically making AT&T money off their cell phone service right now.
So when they report this, is that profit or is that just total revenue?
I think I'm reading this as
Total
revenue.
Okay.
They're generating $50 a month.
Yeah, I expect them to be making at least 50% of that. I don't know. I bet you we'll call it their ARPA, wireless ARPA, average revenue per account. If it's 2 lines, they're probably making $25.
I don't know. This number seems confusing to me because the unlimited plan is $45 and the highest shared data plan is $60. 50 seems high to me. I don't know if that's
it's 45 plus taxes and the fees, which are pretty right around that $50 mark.
Okay, so there's something that we got to make sure we frame this right for the viewers out there and the listeners. Cable operators don't operate to the same reporting standards as traditional wireless operators. They don't report churn. They don't report broadband churn, home internet, and they don't report wireless churn. They say things like best churn in a year, best churn ever in a quarter, but they don't tell you the number, and they never have, and they never will. They don't feel compelled. They just want to say that, right? So like they're the equivalent of China disclosures. Like, like China says something, they're like, oh yeah, here, this is our numbers. Like, no, it's not. You're lying. I would assume that a lot of this stuff, however they're delivering it, is convoluted in some way that's masking something or hiding something.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point.
Well, let's scroll down a little bit further. Look, I'm going to break down the theme parks in Sky in Europe. They're doing great. COVID crushed them, and now they're coming back. That's boring. I want to focus on cable's future section. Because in the cable future section, it talks about how for the last 15 consecutive years, Comcast was able to add 1 million internet connections year over year. But that low-hanging fruit is now kind of going away. And it starts to talk about big cable's main competition, fiber being available in many more places, as well as fixed wireless, like you were talking about, Sneed. And then it gets into talking about how cable's responding. Specifically, a research firm called Moffett-Nathanson estimates that Comcast footprint when it comes to fiber overbuilding is going to increase from 34% to 55%. So 55% of Comcast footprint is going to be nothing but fiber. And I don't mean like fiber to the home. I'm just talking like fiber is going to be within 55% of their footprint, just in general. Which that number by 2025, doesn't that actually either match or exceed what AT&T is targeting?
Yeah, it's probably right around there.
Yeah. So Comcast is becoming a massive fiber player. They're also talking about the fact that they're kind of optimistic on DOCSIS. Specifically, they were saying cable, while being slightly inferior, provides the same service as fiber, usually slightly cheaper, and easily keeps up the speed requirements. Internet's a commodity, assuming it works at the required speed. Cable has consistently improved speed using DOCSIS technology and has a path to get closer to symmetrical speeds with upgrades like mid and high splits. If cable keeps up with bandwidth requirements, the average consumer likely won't know or care about the difference in technology. I wanted to get your thoughts on that quote from this article written by Matt Nicholson at Seeking Alpha.
All right, so any conversations about DOCSIS simply just has to wait until it's live. I'm not saying it's not gonna be good. I'm just saying it doesn't exist in my world yet. Like where is it? So we'll see when it gets there. I'd love to see more people getting access to improved technologies on cable, because in places where they have cable, they're not looking to just rip and replace it with fiber. You know, they're going to try to squeeze every last drop out of that cable before they have to replace it with something like fiber. So the next generation of DOCSIS, invite it, want it, hope it comes soon. I think you mentioned like having similar speeds to fiber and all of that. I mean, we'll have to wait and see, man. Look, if big cable is going to be offering a fiber-like experience using cable technologies, then good for them, man. I mean, all we care about is, as consumers, getting improved services and paying better prices.
Well,
So if that drops fiber prices because cable's acting and behaving like fiber, cool. You know?
well, Sneed, I think we can look at history really quickly for a moment. Fiber is not a new concept. Northeast has had Fios for over 15 years at this point.
Yeah.
And yet, Comcast somehow manages to have like 60 to 70% of the market penetration where the cable's at. Why? It's clearly worse than having symmetrical, and yet there it is.
Well, they're doing something better than Verizon Fios, which is either a combination of pricing or availability. You know, there has to be something else, because if it's not performance related, then it lies elsewhere.
I was going to say, I'll tell you the answer. It's strictly promotions. It's
Okay.
strictly promotions. That's
Yeah,
what
so they're
doing.
willing to compete, right? And I'll be honest with you, man. Like I'm not big on Verizon Fios. I think as a business, there's a lot to be desired. It doesn't grow. They don't build more fiber for Fios. It's such a slow grower for them. Like, I remember covering a story a few months ago. You know, they were talking about expanding into new neighborhoods.
And I told you it's a pipe dream. It'll change with the.
Well, no,
yeah.
listen to the wordplay. It's not that they're going into new neighborhoods. They're going into like newly built neighborhoods where it's easy to do the fiber because it's just been excavated. You know, the whole neighborhood is essentially a trench.
Yeah.
Put in your fiber. Put in your what is it called? The
But there was another caveat to that too. It was new construction in places where Verizon already had Fios. That was the other caveat.
Yeah, so literally they had a list of 5 things. All right, if we're gonna do fiber in a place, here are the 5 things. If we don't have all 5, we ain't doing it. Like, and it was like boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we'll do it there.
Yeah.
It has to be literally the easiest thing for them to do. Otherwise, they're like, nah, we'll
Also,
build out fiber and just use it for fixed wireless. You know,
even in the places where they have it, remember, for the first 6 months, I had horrible internet from Verizon. If you remember, I had like 90% uptime and could never get my speeds. It took a unicorn of a maintenance truck coming out to fix that. And then finally I got a competent fulfillment tech that corrected my install and got my ONT moved inside.
How's your uptime?
Exceptional.
How's your uptime?
Oh, literally like 100% now.
Okay, and Stetson, how is yours, sir?
I don't think the internet's ever gone down.
Yeah, GoNet speed's God tier, and my Fios is God tier. 100% is probably an exaggeration, but it's like 99.999. I have not had an outage.
No
That's
complaints,
a lie,
man. My fiber has been bulletproof, man.
That's a lie. I lied. Once a night, every so often, it will go down, but it's mainly because the ONT is rebooting and pulling a new IP address that Verizon dishes out using DHCP. But outside of that, it's very rare and short.
You still keep the redundant connection, Dennis?
Yeah, I have the Comcast again. So I do have that as a redundant connection.
Yeah.
And that's because I got that work from home job again, and Verizon does not work with Cisco Anytime VPN. So
I kind of had to, man.
Yeah.
What do you have for your internet setup right now?
Me?
Yeah, that was for you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were asking Dennis. I'm like, he just told us. No, I have AT&T fiber.
Sweet.
Yeah, I got
any backup for that? I feel like you had like Los AT&T for a bit.
Yeah, I got a couple options that I could do. I've got some modems, I've got some routers, so I've always got stuff I can fall back on. Every AT&T site, every Verizon site in the area has backup power. You know, they've got generators, so I could hotspot for however long, man. I got like 5 lines, man. Some of my lines have unlimited hotspot data. Some of them have 20, 30 gigs. I think my wife's phone has like 2-3 SIMs in it. like there's so many
Just the
things we could do.
usual, yeah. That's awesome. That's great.
But yeah. So continuing on about the Comcast talk, we touched on this on your show, but I want to touch on it with Stetson and see how he thought. There was a survey done that found that I believe it was 26% of consumers would consider switching away from their MNO over to a cable-based MVNO, like Charter or Xfinity. Stetson, can you pull that article up? Thank you. Oh, 23%, excuse me. Yeah. This was done by, it was an article written by Linda. It was a Cohen survey. 23% of postpaid subs would consider a cable MVNO. Stetson, does this surprise you at all?
Not at all. This is exactly who the cable operators are targeting. The previous article from Seeking Alpha was just talking about they're combining your internet and your cell phone bill to get a pretty good overall package. And Verizon can't really compete with that, right? Where you can kind of get a discount, I guess, if you get like the Get More plan. I think maybe there's like a $30 discount available. But yeah, this doesn't surprise me at all. It's who those carriers are targeting. It's the same network. I think, and they're offering device financing. Like that's where you get the second best deals, basically. Xfinity has great BYOD deals. I think they're doing like $200 a credit. Yeah, like it's insane.
And it's a Visa card.
They don't have the option to do that, really. Like they're really providing the best value for your dollar on the service, but they can't really do the smartphone deals in the same kind of way. So no, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think if you're gonna have a bad experience, might as well bundle it in all with one company and do that. So
yeah, but how about the part where it was the younger demographic that was more willing to switch?
Yeah, I mean, think about it, right? You got a younger demographic. You just get out of college. Maybe you live at home for a year like I did. You leave, and parents are going to kick you off your cell phone bill. At the same time, you're moving to a new location, getting your own apartment. You got to sign up for an internet service provider. Why not take that opportunity, combine the two, merge them together? Bada bing, bada boom. Maybe you can get a deal, get a new phone while you're at it. Makes total sense to me. So, that's what I got.
Sneed, anything?
I would say that not surprised. I mean, they kind of target some of these customers. The age group thing is kind of interesting. You look at the different types of demographics within the switcher pool and who you target in terms of your business model. And I don't know, I'm not shocked by it. I know there's a market for it. We're looking at them ad customers all the time. Sometimes they have to adjust and tweak who they target their marketing to, but I think they've done a pretty good job. They know who they're looking for and they convert it, man. Look at those ads. They 200, 300,000 a quarter. There's a market for those switchers, and it's easy for them. You make some commercials. You don't have to build the network. You've got your little network of hotspots. People can save money. If they're coming in at like $29 a line, man, they are thrilled because they're probably paying half or less per line, in comparison to say like, 2 lines on Elite or 2 lines on Extra or, these Verizon plans. You're looking at $160, $150. You're gonna move that over to $60. That's a lot of money to save.
Yeah, and it looks like here that loyalty to big carriers increased with household income. If you're younger, getting an entry-level job, maybe not earning as much, makes sense. You want to have a lower wireless bill and combine it with your internet package. Or maybe if you're older, you command a higher salary, or you're lucky to be in a position that's earning more money, maybe it's not worth your time switching. You're like, I just want the best of the best. I sign up with my Verizon Get More plan. I know I'm getting the best out there. I'm good to go. And you call it a day. So that's what I got.
Sneed, do you got any topics for the table that you want to talk about? Any surprise ones?
No, not really. Those are pretty good. I mean, we covered a lot.
I think that was a great show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
we
wait.
did pretty good.
we missed one thing that I see in the title and we didn't touch on it. What's up with the T-Mobile transfer pin?
Oh yeah, T-Mobile introduced a feature where you now request a transfer pin to port your number. It's just kind of an added security measure. So this is now going live for T-Mobile customers. Hopefully I'll be able to test it out because I did port to T-Mobile. Oh yeah, Dennis, we never talked about it because we had Ahmed on. Last week, for those of you who are here, Austin challenged me to switch to T-Mobile, and I did it. I switched to T-Mobile on the Base Essentials plan, the worst plan T-Mobile has ever come out with, and I am probably one of 3 subscribers on that plan. The other 2 people probably signed up by accident. So I've got
How is it?
Well, it's both terrible and totally fine at the same time. Terrible, I think it's a terrible value. My bill came out to $50.13. I'd much rather be on T-Mobile prepaid, $50, truly unlimited data, and pretty much the same features besides that. Or yeah, Mint Mobile. I mean, it's basically the same as my Mint Mobile plan. I notice no difference, except now I'm paying 3 times as much, and my phone says T-Mobile in the top instead of Mint. So yeah,
So you're probably headed back to Mint.
Yeah, I mean, I think I might use the opportunity to test out a couple other MVNOs just to use them as my primary provider. But I will try and get this review done as quickly as possible to save myself money and to move on to something that's a better value.
Yo, Stetson, there's a request here from My Gins asking if you could do a video to destroy TracFone. Are you into that?
I can try my best. And
let's be real here. Stetson doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
Right.
He won't listen. If you want someone to destroy someone, you're looking at them. Okay. And TracFone specifically, I'm happy to destroy. They have. All right. You know what? Let's just do it right now, real quick. TracFone has literally the worst customer service in the entirety of the industry. Like, they set the bar for worst customer service.
That might be what's going on here with My Gins. You know?
Sneed, have you ever had to actually call them for, like, say, your aunt or something to, like, port their number out?
Bro, I don't like. I mean, customer care is like one of the weaker links of wireless.
Every company.
Yeah, like it. And then when you go prepaid, now you're like scraping and scrapping for help. I mean,
all right. Well, here's the thing.
Customer
Sneed.
service was an afterthought. They're like, "All right, guys, it's lunch day. We're ready to go. Going through our checklist. Do we miss anything? Oh, Steve, what about customer service?
Steve, you got customer service today?
oh my God, you're right. Oh, we forgot. How did we forget about that?
Right.
All right. Somebody call someone in the Philippines. You know what? That sounds expensive. India. That sounds great. You know what? Anywhere that's not the U.S., you just give them a call. We'll get some quotes in. If we get it by tomorrow, that'll be great too.
Yeah, but Sneed, so here's a fun fact in case you didn't know. Straight Talk, TracFone, and like 8 other like prepaid options all go to the same customer service, which is Straight Talk. And here's the thing that makes TracFone and Straight Talk so horrendously horrible. If you want to port your number out from them, you're going to need some information so you can give it to your new provider.
Right.
Their customer service reps cannot give you any of the information. They will not tell you the billing address that's on file. They will not tell you the IMEI. They don't have the ability to generate the transfer pin. All of these things are things that you need to be able to do. And if you're working with little old Betsy Sue, who's like 80 years old and doesn't know her online login, even if she verifies herself with the text message they sent, they won't say anything. So then you're just guessing. And here's the thing that's even worse, okay, Sneed? A lot of times, like Straight Talk and TracFone and those guys, when they activate you, like let's just say you go to like a Walmart or something like that, the billing address that's on file is going to be the Walmart that you purchased at, not your house. So now, if you have like TracFone from like 3 years ago because you got like one of their like minute plans and little Betsy Sue barely uses her phone, you're gonna have to try to remember like what Walmart you purchased at. And
can we figure out who Betsy Sue is? Like who's got that name in 2022?
I made it up, but look, you got to figure out where you bought that phone from like 3 years ago, and then the account number. They don't do actual account numbers. The account number is the IMEI, but it's the IMEI of the phone that you originally purchased and activated on. So if you switch your phone to a different phone, like most people do, the account number is the OG IMEI, and most people aren't going to remember that. And if you don't remember that, then they expect you to actually remember your first activation card that you got as another way to to get the account number, which, let's be real here, that goes to the dumpster. And like I said, they will not tell you. Even if you verify yourself with text, they will not tell you. You have to say it to them, and all they can say is yes or no, that's right.
Interesting.
It's bad.
How much would it cost to get you to switch to TracFone, port your primary?
Oh, there's not an amount of money in the world. I would much rather
$1 million for a month.
Dude, I would be afraid that I would lose my number, and it's tied into way more important things than me giving a crap about screw the $1 million. There's no amount of money. I'm sorry. I would rather go the Visible, and I don't like Visible.
How much would that take?
To get me to go to Visible?
Yeah.
With my primary number?
That's correct.
At least 100,000.
Okay.
Minimum.
Sneed, is there any carrier that you would not port your number to?
Yeah, there are a couple. I would never port to T-Mobile with my true identity.
Thanks, Sneed. I just signed up for T-Mobile.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
sorry,
T-Mobile's my primary number.
Yeah, I mean, they're not addressing their data
Come on,
breaches.
Steve, it's only the 7th one.
I know it is crazy,
what
man.
happens to them all?
Okay, first time is luck. Second time is a trend. 7th time is an identity. That is your calling card. You know what I mean? Like that's like habitual.
Come to us. We will get hacked.
Bro, somebody was joking. I don't know, maybe they were serious. They're like, you could just call it a feature at this point. You know, data breaches that's what we do, you know? But so like I mean, come on, man. And then the other piece is I'd say probably Visible, because I see a lot of issues with like porting, right? So like numbers getting lost in the shuffle, you know, issues with like gift cards and other things, them deactivating lines and stuff. That is just bad business. You know, recovery is difficult. You want to avoid those things at all costs. You go with what works and the companies you could trust.
Yeah.
Stetson, I'll put it this way real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick. There's only 2 MVNOs that I'd actually have faith to put my primary number on. Can you guess which ones they are?
Well, US Mobile is easy, number 1. I would consider, if you count Xfinity Mobile, I would consider that as one.
I wasn't counting it, but let's make it 3 then.
I would say Mint is the 3rd.
Yes.
Okay.
Xfinity Mobile, US Mobile, and Mint are the only 3 I put it on. Xfinity Mobile because they were one of the first to do the whole 6-digit randomized port out pin thing. And because they have priority data on Verizon. US Mobile because priority data on Verizon, and clearly they're leading in security. And then Mint because, well, they still need to work on their security, but I actually trust them as a company, both to be in business, to have decent customer support, and not screw me over like a Visible would if I needed to port out my number for some reason.
Yes. Yeah. Jonathan, no, Eduardo likes it. He says, Dennis, you have to try Straight Talk for video and port in and out as a requirement. Doesn't specify your primary number. Maybe it's a different number. Maybe you grab a new number. Actually,
maybe I activate US Mobile again.
This is a slight segue. I've been starting to take notes on what it takes to get your account number and PIN from different carriers. There are some red flags out there. First, text now. Free. Your account number is your phone number. Your account PIN is the last 4 digits of your phone number. Any address, any zip code will work to port that number out. That's a red flag. Like the moment someone knows you have text now, you're gone. Red Pocket, same thing is true with Verizon. Account number is your phone number. PIN is the last 4 digits of your phone number. Red Pocket is better on T-Mobile, where your account number is last 4 digits of SIM card, and the PIN is the last 4 digits of SIM card. So it's like marginally better. Both of those are the same though. And then Red Pocket's the best with AT&T, where your account's a random 12-digit number, and the PIN is the last 4 digits of the SIM card number. But yeah, I don't know.
Which, speaking of that note,
yeah,
this was an idea that I pitched to Stetson, which he loved, and I'm making a little document about it. But I'm making a document about how to get your information to actually port out your number for respective carriers. And I think Stetson said he will add it to the website, possibly.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. But
So that will be helpful to make your lives easier when getting ready to switch, because honestly, it's pretty frustrating with all companies. Although I will say that is one area where the MNOs are doing a great job, specifically Verizon with hashtag port. You just dial hashtag port on your phone, and AT&T has star port. They're great. T-Mobile sucks. You have to call them.
all right, Spec Ops is asking, what about Cricket for your primary number? Would you switch to Cricket?
I haven't really heard anything too bad about cricket.
Cricket's fine, man. I think
Cricket's
they do a good
fine.
job.
Cricket's fine, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sneed, I want to thank you for spending an hour with us on the show, chit-chatting, and talking about wireless as we typically do. If you're new to Sneed, check him out. His channel is linked in the video description. It's awesome. He goes live way more frequently than I do. It's awesome to tune in. He's got in-depth analysis of the carriers, what they're doing, their strategies. He calls the spade a spade when he sees it, sniffs out the BS. It's awesome. So tune in, subscribe below.
Why don't you tell everybody tomorrow's big game plan? I know you're going to be doing a stream tomorrow.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do a stream. I usually shoot for like a 9 o'clock Eastern start time. Sometimes we go on a little bit earlier. I try to, like, whoever my guests are going to be, I try to find a time that works for them because they're so gracious to, like, come on and hang out and discuss. I value their opinions, so sometimes it's like 7, sometimes it's 9, but we usually go live a couple times a week. The podcast is fun. I enjoy it. I don't even look at it as work. I look at it as, just having a hobby that I enjoy, and I got people riding along with me. So it's like a labor of love, I suppose. I don't know, but I love making content. I love live streaming and podcasting. And Dennis, you've been on my show a ton of times. Stetson, you've been on before. We'd love to have you on again,
Yeah,
in
you
a
should
time
come
that
back.
works for you. And if you guys want to check out my YouTube channel, the link is down there, or just look up Sneed Mobile Tech on YouTube. We have a podcast that's also on Anchor and Spotify and all that. I put all that stuff on there. And I'm on Twitter too, at Sneed Tech, if you want to follow me. And thank you, Stetson, for bringing me on, sending me the invite, and I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, take care, everyone.
See you.
Peace.